everyone to the 2026 Women's Symposium brought to you by the Point Fortin Borough Corporation. If you are enjoying the show so far, those of you online, please let us know in the comments. And for the live audience, make some noise, please. Excellent. I am very esteemed at this point in time to be sitting between two queens. We have the Calypso Monarch, reigning Calypso Monarch, Miss Terry Lyons. Can you make some noise for her, please?
Good evening, everyone.
And we also have the reigning Protective Arms Monarch, Miss Makeda Darius.
Good evening, everybody.
Great, so we're going right into it. How has, Terry, your growing up influenced the person that you are today and what you bring to culture in Trinidad and Tobago?
All right, so my growing up is not what everybody thinks, because a lot of people watch all the success that I'm having now and being like, maybe she went to all the best vocal training classes and maybe she had all the art stuff done and her mother and father. Hell no. None of that. Right. I grew up hard. My father had his own demons to deal with, so people might listen to my story and be like, where your father was? Yo, I came to the understanding that he has his thing to deal with, but I love him no matter what. But of course, if I'm telling a story, I like to tell the main thing, like, and my thing is, how I grew up taught me how to receive certain things. And my father used to always tell me, the way that you, in order to enjoy the rose, the thorns, you have to accept the thorns that comes with it. And it's the thorns that teaches you how to accept and appreciate the rose. I said that to say that I grew up hard. You understand? I grew up eating the rice and butter, boiling green fig, throwing some salt on it, and pretending it have meat. Right. I grew up like that. So the way that I grew up taught me to appreciate what I'm having right now. And it gave me that determination. That's why things hardly affects me.
Right.
And I know all you know what I'm talking about. Things hardly affects me because I grew up tough enough and I had enough training, you understand, to deal with things now. So I will never change. If you had the time, people will be like, if you had the opportunity to go back in time and change something about your life, I will change nothing.
You'll be different.
No, I won't change something. It will be different. Maybe I would have been cocky. Yeah. Maybe I would have been at the largest bee in Trinidad and Tobago, you understand me? But it taught me to have gratitude and appreciate what I have. And I'm just saying that to be, because on TV and, we had to be real nice and, I'm being real. You understand? It toughened me up. Going to school, I had all the blackest name, dark black, blue black, pitch black. But instead of coming home crying, I will give back become. But all of these things strengthen me because now the business is a hard business. Right. It's a hard business. And you can't run home crying all the time. Sometimes you have to face these things.
And how does that impact what you bring to the culture, what you bring to the stage?
Well, when I bring to the culture now, what I bring, I not only bring in my talent, but I also bring the examples of nothing is easy. And even if it's easy for some, there's going to be a part in their journey that is something is going to be hard. Right. You understand me? So when I talking to people and it's like, Terry, I want to be like you, I say, no. I don't want you to be like me. One thing that I want you to take from me is the determination that I may have. Walk away with that. Pave your own road. Everybody have their own road to pave. I can't walk yours, you can't walk mine. You may start after me, but I may accomplish more than you. You understand me? You may start before me, because there are a lot of people in this business that started after and before me. Reach the finish line, hooray. And I am still crawling. But when I reach the finish line now, I have accomplished more than they had. Things that they were working hard for, I have accomplished it. You understand? So as my mom also say, you always throw parties for the open doors, but you throw a whole bazaar and block for the closed ones.
Right. That's a powerful message. And what I'm gathering is you're bringing is training ground for the life that you live in now and the industry that you're in.
Yeah. What I bring is realness. If it's one thing I do not like to do also is give, there are a lot of youths watching now because a lot of them want to sing calypso too. That is part of my journey also. That is part of my mission, I must say. The youths. Because we already have, the elders and that are interested in the culture. They are cultured. But then we have the youths, let's say there's a missing generation. There's that part that is not cultured. And there are a lot of them that want to sing calypso now because after this year and some years, because that is my mission. That is my main mission. We have to say culture. I don't care if you want to be a doctor or a lawyer, but I find if somebody question you of where you're from, you must be able to speak of where you're from fluently.
Thanks for sharing that, Terry. Makeda, what inspired your journey into becoming a calypsonian?
Well, my journey didn't even come from an inspiration. My journey is me. My first competition, I was 5 years old. I was 5. So, I was asked a question before, what calypso mean to you. And calypso to me is like, a pet that has lived long like a cat. That you had it from since you was a child and you're growing with it. So it's just a part of your being now. So it just innate. So it wasn't something I had to try to like or somebody had to introduce me to, or it was never like that. I was singing the national anthem when I was 4, and then the neighbor was trying to sing a song and she was singing it wrong, and I teach her how to sing it. And then they say, well, you could really sing. So my uncle decided I could really sing. And then when I was 5, I went in Brighton Anglican School, and they had this competition for all the schools around the area. The librarian had that competition. And I was in first year and I won the competition. So from that, it never stopped.
Now, the theme this evening, and that's excellent because you seem like you're brave from small. That's a gift in of itself. The theme this evening is Women Impact, Powering Progress Together. And Calypso, we can all agree, is storytelling,
Yes.
right? What story do you think that you usually give to? Do you usually give a story to women in your Calypso?
So a problem with a lot of us as calypsonians, we don't really write, you know. Sometimes we sing what somebody write for us. And most times the songs that I get, I really don't like it because it's not sending a message. So then you would see me now doing covers. You would see me singing Bring Down the Power. You would see me doing Missing Generation. You would see me doing Die With My Dignity. The songs with the messages is where I will gravitate. So this year, I wrote for myself. So that was my story. I mean, the song was saying Makeda is a conqueror and a warrior, but I know that there are many Makedas out there. Your name is not Makeda. You may not have my story, but you had a story because I was tired of singing what people want me to sing based on what they write. So I decided, you know what? To me, be real with yourself. You know you want to send a message. You know you want to send a story. You know you want somebody to walk away saying, yeah. You know, I feel that. I understand that, you know? So that's basically, I would rather go with a story or a message.
Which makes the impact. And I'm pretty sure just in you performing it, the way you feel in of yourself feels different.
Yes.
I'm going to go back to Terry in terms of blessing. Listen, I was in Kaiso Fiesta. The crowd shake, I would tell you. What was the inspiration behind this song, Blessing? Where did this come from? What is the genesis of it?
Well, I had that song like 2.5 years. Maria also wrote for me, but this particular song I wrote. And I had a few verses. I had the chorus, everything down packed, the melody. I had how I want the stage to be, what I want them to sing, what I don't want them to sing. I had everything. But I also get writer's block. So I just need time. I will have to put on a song, come back to it after a month, but I didn't have a month because Carnival is short. So I called Maria. I said, Maria, I'm missing some parts of this song. Now, Maria will phrase things different than I am. Now, she would not know the vision that I have for it. So she will just feed me some lines. And I now will go back home and go through these things and be like, nah, what that? Nah, what that? I am her most annoying client, too. I'm holding that crown also. But
With
I wrote this
pride.
song about 2 years ago. The, the inspiration behind it is just a prayer. And I wanted the prayer to come from a ground format, meaning that I didn't want it to sound like a well rehearsed um, scriptures from the Bible as if a pastor is speaking. A pastor will say the most perfect thing because he knows the Bible back and front. But the man on the ground who feeling it, and don't be in church often, not because he don't want to. It has just so much in life, and when he comes from work or when she comes from work, just kneel down and just talk to God, like how I'm speaking right now. They don't know the Bible from, back and front, but they know what they need and know what they're going through and know what they're seeking. And they just want God to just let me know what to do. And that is from there. That is how I write the song. You understand me? That's why I say I'm tired and I'm worried and I'm feeling the pain. My faith's been tested time and time again because we have to understand there are plenty times I just lost faith. You understand me? Because I'm asking somebody that I can't see, feel, or touch for help. And then you have to have a different type of faith in order to depend on somebody that you have never seen. That's a different type of faith. So it's just the whole meaning of the song, and that's why I left it open for every religion to relate to it. Yes, I christened under the Roman Catholic. Back in the day, everybody christened under the Roman Catholic. But even though I christened under the Roman Catholic, I grew up under Baptist. And I don't think that was a secret because you see it in my movements and in everything. My family, I clean church because back in the day, you ain't missing church because the church right behind the house. So there's nothing about, you ain't going to church today. You had to clean the peas, the everything. So that is where the song came from. And then my mom, who died in 2002, some years before she died, she mourned. So hence the reason why I went up on stage. Now when you mourn, when you go to mourn, you cannot put on makeup, nail polish, can't have weave in your hair and all these sorts. So that's why I went up on stage with no makeup, no nail polish, bare feet, no weave in my hair. I mean, the hair tie wasn't supposed to come off, but in the midst of the thing, when you're feeling it, it just go. I just wanted to take off. But that is the significance of the prayer, is to come from the people. Because we could have all the priests, the pastors, and all the religion. The loudest prayer is from somebody who really feeling it.
When you're at that low point.
When you're at that low point, it's from somebody who really feeling it. God answers all prayers. He answers all.
Always.
You understand me? Your location don't determine your destination, So you could be going to church every day, know the Bible from back to front, and it have a lady in she little board house that have children going out, and every day she just praying, Lord, and nothing, no big fancy thing, Lord, protect my children out there because you see, this is what I have. And just talking to God, sometimes I just talk to my Lord and say, what are you doing? Because I don't think I could make it,
Been there.
I don't think I could make it, You see the strongest soul there thing? I think I need help. Yeah. But that's just me being real with God. I ain't losing faith. I just being real. You understand me? There are a lot of things, yes, I just tell people, speak it into the existence, speak it into the universe, but you cannot speak what you believe in into the universe. If you don't believe in it, it will not work.
It's true.
Once you speak it in the universe, it's because you really mean it. So that's why I say people who depress something, it's like try and fight yourself out of depression and then speak it into the universe. Because if you're depressed and you say, yeah, I'm beautiful and I know God, you're not believing it. Yes. So it will not come true.
Yeah, gotta put some power.
You had to put the power behind it, and you had to find that within yourself first.
Yes.
So that is what my song is. Hence the reason why I had a representation of every religion, well, that I could find. The Buddhist was missing.
Right.
But on stage, along with my lookalike Kamla, my lookalike Mrs. Penny, my lookalike Bharat and stuff and things like
Yes.
that. It wasn't like the song is not a separate prayer. In order for we to see Trinidad and Tobago or the Caribbean or the world in the way in which we want it to be, we have to pray together.
It's true.
The Christians can pray so and we pray so and we religion better and we prayers will save the world. No, we prayers will save it's not going to that's not going to
Then
happen.
we need that unity.
Leola, we went in the savannah, kneel and pray in our own language, but we there together. Because we are one purpose country.
Definitely.
And until that happens, then we will always have a problem.
And listen, when I heard that song, I said, this is perfect, even in timing. So even though you said you would have had this song for 2 years, I always believe in timing, and I think it's a message that the people needed to hear, of comfort, of hope, of faith.
Yeah.
And I want to go back to Makeda in terms of this storytelling and calypso. It's something that not everybody can do. And in terms of growth and in terms of being resilient, what message can you give to other women? Because we just talked about faith and in those low moments.
As a woman and as a Calypsonian woman, a Calypso woman Calypsonian, we come from far. You know, they would tell you, I sang at the Calypso Review, and it's a running joke in the review that in jazzy days, it only had one woman here, and that was Denise Plummer, because she was white. Or because she was not black. I don't know if she was white, but she was not black. So because she had the money,
Colorism.
they accepted her in the review. So if you look back, really, there were only men in the Calypso tents. So over the years, you know, we break the barrier that we could have women like Terry winning the Monarch. You know, that could not happen in years gone by. But it's still not easy. It's still not easy for women in Calypso. I remember when we just, the hardest step for a Calypsonian who start from juniors is to transition into the seniors. Okay. It's hard because everybody don't have a position. You had to find one. You had to squeeze in behind these stars. You had to squeeze somewhere in between these stars to find where your spot is. And it's until one decide to retire or expire or the broaden the whole thing, then we didn't have a space. So a lot of us was just in between small competitions, you know, before we could have make it into the queens and even the stars of tomorrow. And the Monarch was worse because every year there was one list. I don't know if I remember that. It was Sugar Aloes, Crocro, the Fusto, Singing Sandra. You know the list. Every year it was one list. But there was just a few women in the list. So we had to really, really fight as women, and we still fighting. When we just went to audition for the tent, I remember as young girls, we didn't get through. We did not get through. One of my friends got through, and when she got through, is the sexual torture she had to go through with the men in the tent. Because it's a little girl now trying to come in with thing. She from country, because she was from Claxton Bay. She from country, and you know, you come in town now, say, yeah, we go deal with you. And she run out of the tent, and she run out of Calypso. Wow. She don't sing anymore. Wow. Because of that experience. You know, so I always admire Terry's mother. She always used to be there. She was always there, because she used to back us up in NJA competitions. Right. She was one of the background vocalists, but she always used to be with Terry. Right. My mother used to always be with us. Karina, her mother used to always be with her. It had a few of us that your mother would be there. If your mother wasn't there, as a female, among them dragons and them, trust me, no, it was not easy. And it's still not easy. Because sometimes in the tent, you would see if somebody had to get bench, it is going to be a female getting bench. Because it's still in a man's will. So you have to earn it, and then you have to own it, and you still have to fight as a woman. So when we have women like singing Sandra winning the Monarch twice, we had to, as women, celebrate. When we have Terry winning the Monarch twice, we have to celebrate. You know, they brought the young queens because they had the young kings. And the women had to go in and fight with them. And then a woman could have never won the king. So they say, here what? We will keep a competition for them. Because we always had to fight. You know? And we still fighting, but we here. And we live it. I live it. Yes. I live it. Because I ain't afraid nobody. Maybe I don't no monarch yet, but if I have to win the monarch, I win. But one thing I'm sure about is that I'm good enough. I'm very, very sure that I'm good enough. You know, I'm not being cocky or nothing. Yes. I am sure. Yes. You know? And you know, God have a timing and a path for everybody. You know, I just wait my turn. I tell 2 Calypsonians who stopped singing, females, that is Ryan Guerra, Jamaica Mundy. I saw them. And I say, you know, why are they not singing? Nah, girl, I could. This happened, that happened. And you know what I say to them? Terry, I say, I went through that. I stopped singing for years because this happened and that happened. But Calypso don't leave you. It don't leave you. You see how this woman from Tobago, Rosalind Reed, saying, Calypso calling me? Yeah. It has called you. You can run how you want. As a Calypsonian, it has drag you back in. Even if you don't compete, you want to be on a show. You want to sing. You know, and I remember talking to them, and I tell them, here, what, we'll have to come back. You know, we'll have to fight, we will make it. Not every day will be your day. I had to explain to them, before I won the National Calypso Queen in 2020, the highest I ever placed in Queen was 9th. The highest I ever placed was 9th. And I give them a little break, and the next year out of nowhere, my kid will come and just beat everybody.
Lovely.
I don't even try hard. I just beat them.
Lovely. You come back with a vengeance.
Just so. You understand?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you have to be resilient, especially not only as a Calypsonian. I am also a police officer. And in the work, you have to be resilient too, not because them dragons will go with your throat. Serious.
Thank you for sharing your stories. You know, I'm glad that you highlighted that, because sometimes we think about us moving through the world in a very light, airy-fairy way, but there's a lot of struggles that we have to go through, especially to carve your own way. And, you know, you're saying that, and I'm just thinking about water. Water flows, and it would flow through a rock, and they wouldn't think water could cut a rock. But in that constant flow and not giving up and going down its path, slowly but surely, it makes that impact. And that's the type of impact that you all, as performers, as Calypsonians, as women on stage, are making. And I really want to thank you all so very much for your contribution. This has been a wonderful conversation, and I know that I have had some parts of it that I would take with me, and I'm pretty sure the audience would as well. So those of you online, please share those parts that you would have taken from this conversation. Honestly, I have so many questions in my head, but I know that time would not permit. Thank you all, ladies, so very much.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.